Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmakers getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-Prop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTB screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Welcome to the best MLB Prop Show on God's green earth. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets. A little hungover, but that's okay. It's Friday, guys, and it's hard to find someone hotter than me at this moment, but we have just that. As the man next to me, Spin Doc Sports, is on a motherfucking heater, fellas. And it's a treat for you guys to get us both in the same room at the same time. Because if you're not tailing, you sure as fuck better be learning, guys. Let me talk to you. So, my guy, I know you've been winning damn near everything you put out. So how was your fourth?
It was fantastic. VIP pregame plays have won, and this is dead ass. VIP pregame plays have won 16 in a row. I haven't lost since Friday. It's been crazy. Lost a live play yesterday for the only our literal only VIP loss since Friday. I think two half unit live plays have been our only losses since Friday.
And I know that for a fact.
It's been pretty crazy.
You sent me everything you're on, bro. And I'm over here going 3-1, 1-0. He's going 3-0, 4-0. I'm like, dude, I'm glad I'm putting some money on this shit.
It's
After
been
the
fun.
fourth day, I started parlaying, bro. I've been hitting stupid parlays with your bets.
Yeah, it's been fun. Even the leans that I give out before plays have actually been hitting at about at close to 80% over the last week. I'm just repeating the process every day because it's working. So
it's working, bro. I ended up taking the day off yesterday. You pulled the trigger on Eflin. I sat back and woo, he still cashed, but man, I didn't think they were going to put him out there for 2 innings. I was sitting there watching him, bro, and it was a sweat, bro. I was like, oh my God, they're going to run him out.
So I told my VIP, because we were on Eflin under 3.5. We got it at plus 120 something. I told him, I said, I expect Salvi to strike out. Probably will get Melendez. That gives us 2. I'm like, I don't know who else he's going to get in the rest of this lineup. And then the first time through the order, he fucking strikes out Isbell, who's the highest zone contact guy they have and has one of the highest contact rates in MLB. And I'm like, well, shit. But they held on. It was super sweaty, but we held on.
Was it a swinging strike or a taking strike?
I think his strikeout was, I forget what his strikeout was. I was just pissed.
That's what kept me off of that. Was there was like 6 guys who took pitches in the zone, and I got burnt with that with Eflin the week before. 3 of those strikeouts, bro, from me on the Nats were all taking. But when they dropped it to a 3.5, I was like, dude, he ain't getting 4. Why are they dropping it, bro? I was like, this is under nothing, and I couldn't pull the trigger because I didn't want that under to be my only bet for the day, or like I didn't want unders to be my only bet because that's the only way I was looking yesterday. I wanted Miller under, but then I seen that janky ass lineup and said, hell no.
Yep.
I wanted the Eflin under. I was like, dude, I'm not just betting that. And there was one other guy who I wanted under, and that ended up hitting. And it was just like, That's what you get for having small balls. So maybe we'll bet some unders today with the fucking king next to me. So let's get to the first guy on the board. Paul Skeens versus the Mets, striking people out this year at a 34% clip while walking people just 5% on the year. Morning line was 7.5, minus 115 on BetMGM. Best line available to that 7.5 is now minus 122 on FanDuel. Pitching outs are not available, guys. That's a key thing right there. Earned runs 1.5, minus 140, juice to the over, whereas projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Let's talk the man everybody wants to hear about.
All right. All right. Well, I mean, obviously, if you're watching this show or if you pay attention to baseball, you've heard of Skeens. So I'll try to give you some stuff that maybe you haven't heard before. Skeens spends a lot of his time in the zone. So far, 54.1% of the time, which is above pitcher average of 48.6. He also allows only 75.5% zone contact, which is under MLB pitcher average of 82. Now you go and you look at the Mets projected lineup, and you do see that only 2 of those 9 hitters are under league average in zone contact. That would be Alvarez at 78.6 and Vientos at 75. However, the other thing that these Mets have is they do have a very low zone swing rate. This has been the case for the last few weeks during their offensive surge. And even before it started, even earlier this year, they weren't as low as they are now, but they weren't the highest swinging team in the zone. The problem that you have with that is no matter how good you are, when you have a man that can throw 102 and with location, and then that can mix it up with an 87, 88 mile an hour changeup, you can't be putting yourself in these 0-1, 0-2, 1-2 counts. It doesn't really make a difference when, even if you have a guy that's high zone contact, like Pete Alonso, for example, if you put yourself in an 0-2 count with a guy that can hit you with either a splitter that's way out of the zone, a changeup that's coming in at 85, or just rear back and just blow 102 past you, you're in trouble, which is true because when he gets into pitchers' counts, Skeens strikes guys out over 40% of the time. That's what aces do. That's what Tyler Glasnow does, who I know we're going to talk about. That's what a healthy Jacob deGrom does. So if you're looking here, I don't know how you can look at anything but the over. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause, and I for sure need to see a lineup, is in his last start, Skeens' velo was down. Now, when I say down, that's a relative term. It's still higher than 99% of other MLB pitchers. But when you do have a fastball that you're relying on to just rear back and just blow it by guys and crank it up there, when your four-seam velo is down by 1.2 miles per hour, as it was, I take notice. I also take notice that his spin on both of his primary breaking pitches, curve was down by 113 RPMs, slider was down by 121. So might take a wait and see attitude on this one, but look, for as much as the Mets take in the zone or have been, and as much as they've been comfortable taking in the zone, if you're playing this one pregame, I'm not sure how you can do anything but the over on this man.
Well, let's talk Tyler Glasnow. Or no, not Glasnow.
No.
You got me high. You got me pumped up. I was like, that's my
It's
dog.
the same thing. It's the same thing with Glass.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing when we get to Glasnow anyway. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Skeens, guys, gets the Mets over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers. Says they're the best team in baseball, as they're walking above league average, only striking out 20% of their at-bats while having the best isolated power in the league. So let's go see who they've seen in that time span. And they ain't seen anyone I'd look to bet an over with. As the Nationals and Cubs don't have a right-handed pitcher I'm looking to bet. They've seen the Astros, but yet didn't get Hunter Brown. And then they've seen the Yankees, where Gil, yeah, talking about spin rate. This dude texted me in-game to bet him freaking live a couple games ago. His spin rate is way down, and he's been blasted his last 3 games. So whip-de-damn-do that they got to him. Oh, and they got Garrett Cole in his second start back throwing 91-mile-per-hour fastballs. That just ain't Garrett Cole, guys. So he ain't back yet either. So it's really hard for me to take anything from these numbers. But we can't just say they are fraudulent, guys, because at the end of the day, They're just not the best hitting team in baseball. They're still one of the best freaking chase contact teams and teams over the past few years in not striking out. And then, like you said, guys, I've noticed it as well, guys. Zone contact. That's being key with this guy when I've ran his K prop. Yes, guys, if you just want to go off a pitch, off a whiff to his pitch mix, it's going to probably say fire along every damn time. But the more guys who make less zone contact is the higher strikeouts he's got, and vice versa. And this is going to be the most guys he's going to face who are well above league average when it comes to making contact in the zone. We've got 5 guys who are elite at freaking zone contact, 5 guys who are elite at chase contact. Now, if you watch this show, you know I like to compare pitchers, guys. And if we compare Skeens to anybody, it would be Spencer Strider. 2 high-velocity guys with a wipeout slider and something extra. Now, the extra for Skeens being a freaking split, and Strider, at the end of the day, guys, has seen this team 6 times. And he's had some of his worst fucking games versus the Mets. They understand going the opposite way. Just put the ball in play. You cannot try to pull 100+ miles per hour, guys. And in 6 starts, lifetime, Strider hasn't gone past 5 innings but 1 time. He's given up 4 runs or more in 3 of the 6. And he's only hit that 7.5 that Skeens is at, because that's the number they put Strider at versus the Mets as well, guys. 7.5. And yeah. He only hit that 3 times out of the 6 games with nothing more than 8. It was always by the hook, guys. So, yes, there's rain involved. It shows there should be rain coming within 2 hours of this game. So, can they get the pitching in? Yes. Can they not finish this game? Yes. That's another advantage the books have, guys, at the end of the day. And I'm not going to go under, but I'm sure as fuck not going to bet Skeens is over today, guys, with this lineup personally. So, it's an easy pass for me. With the rain or without the rain, I wouldn't have bet him. Without the rain, I still wouldn't have bet him today. So it's like you said, if you want to bet unders against guys like Skeens and shit, bro, it's not going to be healthy to your bankroll. So it ain't for me. But if he doesn't hit it today, I see why. I get it. I get it. It's the same reason why I had to fucking play it versus the Braves last week. It was just like, oh my God. And he somehow struck out the side to end the game to help pay me. So whatever, I'll take it. It was a little harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I have my no under island when it comes to teams. I also have a little offshoot of that when it comes to starting pitchers. And there are a few guys where I just don't even fuck with it because like this man said, it's just not conducive to your bankroll. With so many games going, I mean, if it was Skeens versus somebody and it was the only Major League Baseball game and it was the only sporting event of the day, yeah, we could probably try to find an angle to get you some money in just to have some action on the game. But there's 30 pitchers today, and winning on any of them pays the exact same as if you win on Skeens. So just because, that's why you bet on obviously you bet on the value of the line, not bet on the guy's name.
Yeah, got to. But,
and then the other thing I was going to say, you were talking about Luis Heel. For anybody watching, watch and see what they do with Heel, because he's at his highest number of innings that he's ever thrown in his career now, including in the minor leagues. And literally once he got to that threshold, you can look and you see his velo, his spin, everything just starts going off a cliff. His arm looks tired. His arm looks actually kind of dead, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they 15 him or something like that, and just to give him some rest at some point here.
I just 15 my brain, bro. I've been smoking my brother's shitty asses cartridges from out here because I smoked up all mine, and then my package came today. And oh man, it's like being in a candy shop. I have 3 different ones opened already just to taste them and shit, bro. All right, let's get to the next guy. Who, man, I want to bet this guy, but I don't know if the rain's going to allow me to. So let's talk Tanner Bybee versus the Giants. Striking people out 28.5% of the time, while walking people just 6% on the year. Morning line is 6.5 minus 120 DraftKings. Best line available is minus 118 to that 6.5 on FanDuel. Pitching outs is 17.5 minus 135 juice to the over, whereas earned runs were at 1.5 minus 180 juice to the over. Projected lineup is 5 lefties, 4 righties. Let's talk Bybee.
All right. I really, really like what this kid does. I love how he approaches starts. I love how he approaches at bats. I think that he's got a nice mix of athleticism, meaning like being able to run his fastball up, but also the mental aspect of knowing when it's time to throw a breaking pitch, knowing when it's time to go after a guy. I just really, really like his approach. From what I've seen, he's just a very intelligent pitcher. Now, stat-wise, he operates in the zone the majority of the time, 52.7%. I talked earlier, 48% is a pitcher average, and he allows a 75.4 zone contact rate. That's also below league average of 82. Now, you go back and you look at how this man has been lined this year, and he's only been lined at 6.5 2 times this year. Once was at home against Seattle, which that's not a surprise because he obliterated them for like 20. It was actually 12, but it felt like 20. And then at Cincinnati, which was the start right before that, where he had 11. So the 2 times he's been lined above 5.5 this year, he's absolutely murked his opponent. The other thing that I see is that his hits are lined at 4.5, which is down from normal. And his earned run line was 2.5 the last 5 starts, but now today is 1.5. So I think part of the reason why is because you go and you look at the Giants lineup, and the Giants can put out a bunch of different lineup combinations. Houston, who we're going to talk about in a second, you think about trying to do hitter by hitter, as I know this man next to me and I both do. And you know that the top of the Astros order is going to be Altuve, and it's going to be Jordan, and it's going to be Alvarez. Like those are their top 3. That's it. That's what they do. The Giants are a little different. They do mix and match their lineups, but if we get anything close to this projected lineup, and I can get a semblance that, like Sharpie said, that the rain's going to hold off, I am not opposed to an over on this man at all. I talked about the zone rate. 5 of the Giants' 9 projected hitters have zone contact under league average, including 3 of them that are under 81%. Matt Chapman's almost under 81%. And you have a guy that operates both in the zone and being able to get whiffs with in that same zone. You also look in his four-seam fastball, which you can actually run up to 95-ish. So you look at that and you see that 4 of the 9 hitters have a whiff rate of above MLB average to a four-seam fastball. That's a normal four-seam fastball. That's not Bybee's four-seam fastball, because he generates a pretty healthy whiff. And actually his velo has been ticking ever so slightly up. You go and you look at the slider, which is his primary breaking pitch, and you see that almost all, I think it's 5 or 6 of the Giants hitters have whiff rates over MLB average on that as well. I look at Bybee's last start. I see that the velo on his curveball was up. I see the spin on all of his pitches was up. This kid's humming. And so when I look at him, he's not quite on no under island, like I just talked about, like how I just won't bet an under on a pitcher like Skeens, but he's really, really close. So I need a few more things to fall into place, but I am hard looking at the over on this one.
I got the weather pulled up. It's from 7 and 8. It's a 51% chance of showers. And then 9, it goes to 33% and then drops down a little bit. So it's like, maybe they push it back? I don't know. I'm not a damn weatherman. Let's talk baseball. Barbie gets the Giants guys who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching are not walking. They're striking out 23.5% of the time with a top 4 isolated power. So let's go see who they've seen in these numbers. The Braves, who don't got a right-handed pitcher, I'd bet a K prop with. The Dodgers, where they did destroy Tyler Glasnow, who went just 3 innings with 1 strikeout. the Cubs, who don't have a right-handed pitcher I'd bet on, and the Cardinals, where Sonny Gray went 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run with 8 strikeouts. So all in all, guys, they've seen 2 guys I'd bet on in these numbers with different results. And Glasnow, guys, has shown me when he does have a bad games, it's versus teams like the Giants, or we'll talk about it later when I repeat myself, because the Milwaukee Brewers are the freaking San Francisco Giants. That's just who they are when you look at them statistically and analytically, guys. So they're just a team who makes you throw strikes and work counts. Now, Bybee has a 6% better than league average first pitch strike, as well as being 4% better than league average at being in the zone, like my man said next to me. And when Bybee has seen, guys, a team in the top 6 at not swinging in the zone, he is 1-1 to the over, with 7 versus the Nationals and 5 versus the Tigers. Now, Bybee does struggle versus left-handed bats, as yes, guys, he is striking them out at a 26.5% clip, but they have a higher batting average against by 100 points. On base percentage goes up by over 120 points, and slugging goes up 200 points. And we have a projected lineup of 5 lefties and 4 righties. Now, this was not the case last season, guys, with Bybee, as if anything, righties hit him better. But we are halfway through the season, so we do need to pay attention as how can he not hit this today? Well, besides the fact, guys, that it's showing a 39% chance of rain, he could end up being taken to the woodshed, guys. Now, can you hit a K-prop while getting whooped on? You sure as fuck can. But that's just not the way how I try to get down, but I'll sure take those dubs when they come. Now, Bybee, guys, has already answered the question for me, is he an ace? Meaning, can you get teams to 2 strikes that don't strike, that do not whiff the fastballs, and they do whiff to your out pitches? And he has shown me time and time again, yes, he the fuck can. So I go check the weather, guys, and right now, like I just said, I'm seeing a 50% chance of rain 1 hour into this game. There's no way in hell can I freaking bet that. If it somehow pushes back a little more, I'll tweet out, guys. But I am definitely looking over on this man. This man you do not want to take versus, like he said, the zone contact on this team. There was only 1, 2. No, that's Glasnow's one. Where is he at? Bybee. The zone contact, guys, there's only 4 guys who are good at zone contact, with only 3 guys that are technically good at chase contact. So if these guys want to take pitches versus one of the best strike throwers in baseball, with some of the best stuff literally in baseball, as his shit moves, guys, it just doesn't sit there. You're in for a long day, guys, and there's no reason why you should be jumping this man up to a 6.5 with some juice after freaking dropping him 5.5 the last 2 weeks versus teams that supposedly don't strike out. So the books are just done with Bybee, guys, and they're lucky that there's rain involved today, because they'd be getting smoked again. They'd be getting smoked. They just don't know what to do with this kid because he started so shitty, guys. But if you watch this show, his freaking spin rate was down. His velo was down. Everything was down. And they kept talking first strikes with him, guys. And his problem was first strike percentage. He's 6% better than league average now after the first few games of fucking, oh, man, I got to pump strikes. I got my shit plays. Trust your stuff, bud. That's that. And now he does. And when you got a pitcher who trusts his shit, you got a legit pitcher and not just a thrower. Like Hunter Brown is a hurler. He still don't trust his shit, guys. When he gets put in 3-2 counts, he'll overthrow it because he's trying to blow it by you and he doesn't trust that his shit will play versus them. Bybee don't need to do that now, guys. He understands, bro. If I just pound the zone with my shit, dude, these guys ain't gonna hit me.
Yep. And especially when you're playing against a team like the Giants, or even later, like we'll talk about with the Brewers, teams that do have a high take rate in that, versus just trying to just go out there and just throw it how you normally do, which a lot of young guys will. They'll just go and do their same sequence every time, regardless of opponent. When you do have a team that takes, it's like, just rear back and just throw a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right down Broadway, because guess what? These guys aren't going to swing. They take pitches. When it's a take team, take what they're giving you. Take the early strikes. Get yourself in pitchers' counts. Bybee's a guy who understands that, and I would agree 100% with Sharpie. A guy like Hunter Brown does not.
Speaking of, the 2 guys that seen these guys in the last 15 days, Glass now, who has a problem throwing fucking strikes, and Sonny Gray, who don't have a problem throwing strikes, guys. That dude will pound the zone. And now we got Tanner Bybee, who's going to pound the zone, guys.
Yep.
So, man, can we not get rain or can we get pushed back?
I'll be totally honest. If there wasn't the rain potential in the forecast, I would have played this already.
Yeah.
I would have played it already.
Do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. Next guy on the list is old Pablito. The guy next to me's hometown guy. Traded Luis Arias for him.
That's where I'm sitting, man. That's where I'm sitting here.
Pablo Lopez gets the Astros for the second time this year, this time at home. Striking people out this year 28.5% of the time, while walking people just 5.5%. Maybe that's not right because it says maybe it is, maybe it's not, because that looks like it was something from last time. Meh. Morning line. 5.5 minus 130 on DraftKings, or it was 6.5 plus 126 on FanDuel. And then it straight flipped where FanDuel was 5.5 juice and everywhere else was 6.5. And now 6.5 plus 125 to the over everywhere. Pitching out 17.5 minus 190 juice to the over. Earn runs 2.5 minus 150 juice to the under. The projected lineup is 7 righties, 2 lefties. Let's talk Pablo.
Okay. So I watch this guy almost every start, hometown team, favorite team since I was a kid. So first, let's go through the good. So Pablo does have a 31.1% chase percentage. That's above pitcher average of 28.2. He paints the zone and the edges quite well. And that pairs well with a Houston team that, man, they chase a lot. They chase a lot. You don't normally think of a team like Houston being one of the highest chase teams in MLB, but they really are. Over the last 2 weeks, 35.6% compared to a league average of 32.4. And their chase percentage is the third highest in all of baseball. No one's going to touch the Marlins. The Marlins are going to have the highest chase percentage for the rest of the season. But they're down there with the Rockies. As far as chase, the only difference is, whereas the Rockies barely make any contact when they chase, Astros do a nice job, 66.7% chase contact, which is really good compared to a league average of 63.1. Now, what happens when you go on the road and you get a pitcher that generates a lot of chase and who got 6 against you last time? So you look at their lineup, and the top of the lineup, as I mentioned before, how it's going to be Altuve. It's going to be Altuve, Bregman, and Alvarez most likely. So those guys are unlikely K candidates. Then when you compare their chase contact, their history, their whiff percentage, I mean, all of these things are above league average. Then you get down in the projected lineups to Myers, Singleton, Pena, Dubon, and Chas McCormick. And oh my goodness. First of all, Singleton and McCormick have had 14 total plate appearances against Pablo. They've struck out 11 times. Those are real numbers. You get to a guy like Pena, who has a chase contact percentage of 47.9 compared to an average of 42. You go to a guy like Jake Myers, who has 47.9 as well, and whiffs a ton to the sweeper, which is Pablo's primary put-away pitch for righties. You also see that in Pablo's last start, where he just absolutely made the Mariners look like a double-A offense, his velo was up, his spin was up, he was throwing smoke. Four-seam velo was up by almost a mile an hour. Changeup was up by 1.1. Sweeper was up by so on and so forth. So all good. Now, while it went to 6.5 elsewhere, I get really, really nervous when at this point in the day, FanDuel changes it down to a 5.5 from a 6.5, and Pablo, his earned runs prop has been 2.5. His earned runs prop has been 2.5 3 times this year at home, against the Rays, where he allowed 5, Rangers, where he allowed 6, and the Yankees, where he allowed 3. Now, I'm not normally an earned runs better, nor am I a trend better, but you look at how they're lining him and you look at the changes that were made, and this one has me concerned. Now, If the Astros want to go ahead and want to, like, say, take out Bregman and put like Cabbage or Loperfido or some one of the bums that they run at the bottom of their
Just
lineup.
take out Dubon. They don't got to take out Bregman and them. We
That's
can get in live, bro, after Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Diaz.
That's
Like,
true. That's true.
Is this not like a live betting spot if you want
It
to?
very much it right after the top of the order.
Yeah, so I mean, technically, if you want Pablo's over today, if he somehow gets Altuve and Bregman, then pay for the 6.5. Guys, like, they'll be like, "Oh, I lost plus money." It's like, no,
Yep.
he shouldn't have got them. Like, we didn't count them. That's the way you got to look at it, guys. When you're betting live and they're like, "Oh, I lost the number. It's 30 cents worse." Well, was that guy supposed to strike out? Like, when I'm going against the Rays and Yandy Diaz strikes out, and I'm like, "What? What?" Like, that's a free strikeout, guys. He ain't counted. So, yeah, something that I'm gonna get into. I mean, that I might actually do myself tonight, talking about it. But let me do my little spiel, because I mean, I almost freaking got suckered, but because how they set the line this morning, they showed me the way. Like, okay, how is Pablo getting 6-7 today? So Pablo gets the Astros, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers are starting to become the Astros. They're not walking, yet not striking out just 16.5% of the time with the top 10 ISO. So let's go see who they've seen in that time span. As they've seen the Blue Jays, yet miss Gosman. They played the Mets and the Rockies, all who don't have a right-handed pitcher I would bet on. And the Orioles, where Burns went 7 innings, gave up 5 earned runs, and struck out 5. Grayson Rodriguez got lit up like a firecracker, going 5 innings, gave up 7 runs, yet he did have 8 punch-outs. Once again, guys, runs do not correlate with strikeouts. You can get your freaking total by giving up them butt cheeks. I prefer not it to be that way, but I'll take the dubs when we get them. But let's get into it, guys. Pablo has seen this team earlier this year, guys. He went 7 innings, 1 run ball with 6 punch outs. And then he's seen him one time last year as well, where he dominated them. 7 innings of no run ball with 7 punch outs. Now, that game, guys, was in the playoffs. And if you watch this show, I'm going to tell you, I don't pay no mind to those numbers in that game. As in that moment, it's just a different game, guys, when you're in the playoffs. Every at-bat matters. Every pitch matters. Every fan is into the damn game. It's a different environment, guys. And, yeah, you can get strikeouts in the playoffs if you got velocity. This man's got velocity. So I go, guys, and we're looking, guys. We see this morning they have this opened up at 5.5 at a very bettable price on most of the books, and it was 6.5 on FanDuel. So that's telling us a story of this man's getting 6 on the dot, or he's gonna blow up today, guys. And I'm like, dude, this is supposed to be easy under with Pablo. Chase contact means you go under. Chase contact means you go under. Past history in the top of the line, I mean, if you do it all together, you know, it's not a big deal, but 16.5% strikeout percentage, the books pay attention to, guys, but they're not paying attention to, or at least FanDuel wasn't paying attention to it. And now they're all not really giving a damn to it, guys, as they're putting Pablo at a 6.5, and it's plus money now. When we look at Pablo versus Chase contact teams this year, he's seen a bunch of teams in the top 9, and it's not been good for him to the over. The Yankees 2 times, as he had 3 and 4 strikeouts. 6 versus Houston, where he was a 5.5 that day, so he did hit. 5 versus the Nationals, and then the Baltimore Orioles, where he had 7. Now, the Astros and the Nats are the only 2 guys who are top 9 in chase contact, as well as being top 9 in zone contact. Yet Houston and Baltimore are both top 6 in the league in chase. And those are where Pablo actually had 6 or more versus, guys, versus the teams that are great versus chase contact. But if you chase like these teams chased, he's ended up doing what he's had to do, and that's hit his strikeout totals. So at the end of the day, guys, it's a live betting spot if you want Pablo. Now, I didn't even look at the earned run thing that you just brought up, bro, and that's enough to tell me, hell no, to the no. But it's a live bet spot, guys. The books, the way they're showing their hands, they're telling me it's 6 on the dot. No, I'm not going to say I'm going to go bet 6 on the dot, but Do I have $10 parlays that may have wood in there? Why the fuck not, bro? I've thrown $10 away on worse things, but this is going to be one, guys, where I'm probably going to leave alone because I really did want the under on chase contact. But this is something we can learn from too, guys, where we have 7 guys in this lineup who chase. If we go through the chase contact, we've got freaking 5 guys who are elite at chase contact. We go through zone contact, 7 of the 9 are elite. The only problem is 7 of the 9 chase. So if this motherfucker hits his over today, we now understand that, okay, chase contact's an easy under with Pablo. But if the chase is there, it's motherfucking over. So this is going to be a learning experience for me, guys. I'm not going to just get in live and try to make some fucking money off these books and try to be cute. He can easily get it versus the bottom end of this lineup, guys, but you're also going to see the top part of this lineup 3 fucking times. So it is what it is. I'm cool with learning a lesson here, guys. If he gets even 6 on the dot, I'm going to circle chase, guys, when it comes to these chase contact teams. Because if you don't chase, and you got good chase contact, that might be the death to Pablo. Because what it's showing, guys, is if you do chase and you got good chase contact, he got 6 and 7 in those games, guys. So it's definitely there. I don't think the under was as easy as I thought it was first going into it, is what I'm getting at. Now we get into, you got anything else to add on?
No.
Cool. Now we get into a guy that the books have just pretty much priced out. And you've got to either find another way to bet him or have a type of bankroll to just pay up. And like the man to me next to me is like me, man. We don't really pay more than minus 150 for nobody. And I nobody, guys. Like, dude, that's a lot of money when you're putting money down. And yeah, let's talk about it. Kevin Gausman at the Mariners, striking people out at a 23% clip while walking people just 6.5% on the year. Morning line 6.5, minus 158 on FanDuel to the best line available now is 6.5, minus 160. And they're just not budging to go to a 7.5. And they're just trying to make you just go to the next game, it looks like. Pitching out 17.5, minus 175 juice to the over, whereas earned runs are 2.5, minus 150 juice to the under. Projected lineup is 6 lefties and 3 righties. Let's talk Gausman, where you hit him last week in one of those games where you gave up his butt cheeks, but he got his strikeouts.
He did, but the standard line here probably isn't too playable unless you're parlaying it with something or something like that. Look, paying minus 160 standalone for a prop, especially paying the juice for it, it's just not plus AV, and it's bordering on silly, quite honest with you. So if you're going to take an over here, which is the only way to play it, given how poor swinging the opponent is, it has to be up and above. You're going to have to go 8+, you're going to have to go 9, you're going to have to go probably 8+ would be the most logical place to go. But I mean, the reasons why are obvious. The Mariners, by far the worst team in MLB over the last 2 weeks and for the season with chase contact or contact outside the zone, 53.2%, which is almost a full 10% under MLB average. They also have a 13.7% swinging strike rate, which is second or third worst in MLB. And they have one of the highest first pitch strike percentages in all of baseball. Gausman, what he's been doing is when his fastball, more specifically his fastball velo, he has a really, really, really good chance to strike out a lot of teams, because when you can mix the location on that fastball, when you run it high, as he sometimes can, with the splitter that obviously can run very, very low, that can be a lethal combination. I don't even need to go through these Mariners hitters to tell you the whiff that they have against damn near everything. So if you're playing this one, if you're looking to play this one, over and probably some kind of alt over is the only option you should consider here. I just don't know if it's something that I want to mess with, given where the line is at right now.
I get it, dude. That line is hella juiced, and it's not like he's not even got a good win percentage to it. They're just like, don't bet this. If you are gonna bet this, you're gonna pay out the ass. But let's talk about it. Kevin Gausman gets his shot at the Mariners, who over the last 15 days are the Mariners.
Mhm.
They're walking league average, striking out league worst 32.5% of the time with a bottom 5 isolated power. I'd say let's go see who they've seen, but like it's the fucking Mariners. And
Doesn't
even
make a
bums,
difference.
yeah, even bums have their best fucking days versus
It
teams
doesn't
like
matter.
Matter of fact, you can make some good money, guys, on MGM if you have it, guys. It has this bet where you could go pitcher versus pitcher. And man, Kramer versus Gilbert plus 250. Wheeler versus Shota plus 210. When one guy's on the under and I'm thinking over, bro, I'm like, and it's actually kind of working, guys. So if you got a guy with low strikeouts you like versus the Mariners, and you think the other guy's going to go under, you can really get some crazy plus money by going pitcher versus pitcher is what I'm getting at. But we're not going to do that here, guys. We're going to talk Kevin Gausman. And am I willing to pay a juice to the gills 6.5? As he's only hit this over 3 out of his last 10 starts, and we get this much juice? As when we look at the last 10 guys, there's only one team who, like the Mariners, are bottom 3 in zone contact that he's seen, bottom 3 in chase contact, as well as being bottom 3 in whiff. And that was the Oakland A's, where he went the whole game with a 10-piece McStrider. Now, Gausman did see the Mariners 2 times last year, where he had 9 and 13 respectfully. So I get what the books are going to do right now, and I get what they're doing. As no one is going to bet this under, it's just, can I get there with the over? As the Mariners are projecting 6 lefties, guys. And last year, not a fucking issue for Gausman. This year, it's a fucking issue. As he's only striking lefties out 21.5% of the time compared to 29.5% last year. And his right-handed K percentage doesn't look bad at 25.5%. But compared to last year, guys, it's 7% off of where it was. So I get it if you're on the over, and I thought I wanted to be on the over as well. But I'm going to probably look to get into this another way, guys, as the Mariners are the worst fastball hitting team in baseball. And when it comes to Gausman versus a lefty, he is strictly fastball splitter, as he will use his slider versus a righty. So I may look, guys, to his outs over or his earn runs under, guys, as yes, the K should be there. It's Seattle. But if there's freaking 6 lefties in this lineup, Crawford over the last few games is starting to look more like Crawford, as for a 2-3 week span, we were able to get strikeouts from him, and he ain't been striking out the last few games. I've been watching or been on a player a certain way or out, like I pay attention. Rojas, another lefty who's probably not going to strike out. So I don't think it's just as easy as it looks, guys. If you look at Ohtani, some of his freaking games with low strikeouts were versus this Seattle Mariners team. He threw fastball splitter type combos. So I'm going to wait for the lineup to come out on this one. I know the earned runs under 2.5 is juiced at -150, but guess what? It's still better juiced than the K prop, and I don't think they get 3 runs off this man. But then again, it's always about the first inning with Gausman, guys, and he'll tell you that. He don't know who's he going to get. Is he going to get 88-mile-per-hour fastball Gausman? 94 is his average? Or is he going to get 97 velo Gausman? And then it's a splitter, guys, because it's also that in the first inning that he doesn't know if he's going to have command on. We've talked about it for years, guys. This is a pitch he does not throw in his bullpen sessions, and it's a field pitch in the game. Sometimes it's not there. It takes him a couple pitches to get there, guys. So if his fastball's there and his splitter's not, we might get through the first inning with 0 strikeouts, guys, with a low pitch count. Know the splitter's fucking coming. Just know the splitter's coming.
Yep.
So I may look to bet his earn runs under, outs over, depending on the lineup, and may get in on a live bet to that K prop over, as I'm not betting minus 160, and I'm not taking him up either. Personally, I don't believe he deserves to be taken up. He has not shown anything this year to take him up. He's a 2-pitch pitcher, and he's striking lefties out 21% of the time. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rodriguez in the 7-hole today. It's like, who knows what the Mariners are going to do? You just don't know right now. They don't know what they're going to do. If you get a France, Rojas, fucking Crawford, 2 of those in the top 3, woo, you're going to get a better shot on the live. Let me talk to you. So I'm going to look at those earned runs under personally. That's the way I'm probably going to attack it, as I don't think they get 3 runs off of him. It was the same way I was looking at Burns, guys. I didn't want the strikeouts. Burns is freaking dead to me when it comes to strikeouts.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean he's not a good pitcher. And 2.5 earned runs, you weren't going to score 3 runs on old Burnsy Seattle. And my thing is can Seattle score 3 runs on Gausman? And I'm like, yeah, it'd be the first fucking inning too. But at least you'd be over with it. So maybe I look for like a half-unit parlay piece and use that as a piece, guys, and parlay it, and I'll tweet it out. But either which way, I will tweet out my action when I pull it, as I do have a bet today, but we'll talk about that when we get there, if we get there. No, I'm joking. No mames way. Do me a favor, guys. If you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button as well, as this show is only 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and everybody that comes on here does this out of their own generosity. Nobody pays us. And smash the fucking like. That's all we ask for. And then we get to talk about my boy Tyler Glass now. The last guy on the board. Bet you think my bet's on him. I guess we'll get there. And he faces the Brewers, guys. Striking people out 34% of the time while walking people 6.5%. Morning line is 7.5 minus 102 on FanDuel. To the best line available now is 7.5 minus 105 on DraftKings. Pitching outs is 17.5 minus 170. Juice to the under, whereas earned runs are at a 1.5 minus 120 each way. The Brewers are 5 righties, 4 lefties, and let's talk about it.
All right, Tyler Glass now. I guess the first question that I would ask is, given the fact that it's Tyler Glass now, do you really even want to even think about looking at an under here? No, of course you don't. The Glass now is one of those pitchers where you're either passing on him or you're betting on the over. And obviously it's very easy to see why. I mean, I could spend an hour going through all of the metrics about why he actually dominates, but there's a few that matter here. So the Brewers are a very high take team, specifically outside of the zone. 28.3% is their swing rate in or outside of the zone, compared to a league average of 32.4. They've actually been first or second pretty much all season in take rate outside of the zone. So they're not afraid to take pitches. Well, that correlates a little bit here with Glass now, because his overall zone percentage is 53.8. So he actually spends a lot of his time in the zone and generates a first pitch strike percentage of 66.3, which is way above a pitcher average of 61. Glass now, when he gets in pitchers counts, I mean, it's fucking lethal. 40, 42, upwards of 45% in certain pitchers counts. And Brewers they're better, but they're not a ton better. They're still over 30% when they go down in counts like that. You compare hitter by hitter. And not only does Glass now have fantastic history against a lot of these guys, Yelich 4 Ks and 6 plate appearances, Adams 2 for 3, Bowers 2 and 3. There's a lot of these guys that have zone contact that is under league average. In fact, of the projected lineup, the only 3 that do not are Terang, Frelick, and Yelich, who I just mentioned, struck out 4 of the 6 times that he's faced Glass now. So even if you take out Terang and Frelick and think maybe he gets one of them, but probably not. You go down and you look at Contreras, Yelich, Adams, Rhys Hoskins, the bottom of the lineup, and there are plenty of Ks available to be had here. I know that my guy's got something already cooked up for this one, so I'll defer here. But I mean, look, it's Tyler fucking Glass now. If you're even thinking about playing an over against the Brewers with him at home, just stop doing that right now and just don't bet anything, because it'll be really, really bad.
Oh man, I'm so freaking baked right now, bro. Oh, doctor. All right, let's get. Hey, you know what? Dude? I mean, I learned shit from you too, bro. I mean, I'll tell everybody, bro. Like we talk every day, bro. And
Mhm.
sometimes you'll ring my bell or I'll ring your bell on
Yep.
something. And right now, this doesn't make sense to me. How is Tyler Glass now in the zone so much, but yet he struggles versus teams who fucking takes?
Yep.
Like it don't just like freaking Cease. It's the anomaly. Cease balls out versus teams that are freaking patient, but yet can't throw a fucking strike to nobody. It's just like okay, but that's what I'm coming here. So I already did my write up thinking, it's like, dude, he struggles versus this type of situation. Not saying he doesn't hit, that he can't hit, yes, but the times that this man hasn't hit his K props, it is versus teams that do not swing in the zone, that just take pitches, that make you throw pitch after pitch, as well as teams that don't chase. And that's what we got with this team, guys. You've got the Brewers, the AKA the Giants, who he just seen. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and go 3 innings and get 1 strikeout again. But if you go through his past few games versus the Giants, he only had 7 the first time he's seen them. And then when you go against the other teams, guys that are patient, the only time he hit an over was the Yankees, where he hit a 12-piece. Yeah, he saw the Padres 2 times. He got 10 one time, then 3 on the other. And then he's seen the Nationals and the Cardinals, where he didn't hit 5 each game. So I've got to dig through of what do all those teams have that they don't have, guys, because it just doesn't make sense to me why this is even a bettable 7.5. Yep. I get it. I mean, he's at home. He's Tyler Glass now. And it just
looks too easy, doesn't it?
It looks way too easy, especially now with no Ortiz in the lineup. Like Ortiz is a huge contact guy, guys. And now that's like, okay. And then when I look at the actual lineup and look at guys who are zone freak, who wait and are patient, there's only like 4 guys that are technically guys that are going to wait, because Contreras, Yelich, Adames, Bowers, and Mitchell all are looking just to swing the fucking bat if we're going to go on zone swing percentage. And if this guy's in the zone and they're swinging, I don't think they're making contact, man. Like I'm going to have to then go look at their zone contact, because I did have their chase contact drawn out. So I'm going to then have to now look at their zone contact with the zone swing percentage, because if you're going to take versus Tyler Glass now at home, this guy throughout his career is one of those aces who strikes more people out at home. Why? Because the electricity you get at home, you have 40,000 fans like the Gladiator with the thumb down with 2 strikes, guys, cheering for a fucking strikeout. On the road, you don't got that. You might have 10 dudes. Come on, Glasnow! Or Glasnow being a Dodger, okay, he's got 10,000 guys at a stadium instead of 50, but today he's gonna have 50+ thousand fans asking for death for 2 strikes, and he's gonna oblige, guys. So if I stay off, it's because if he hasn't hit, it's versus teams who are patient. Right now, it only shows 4 guys being patient. That means he's an ace. I would say I normally want 2/3 of a lineup, but you give me one of the best pitchers in baseball, you just give me a lineup that favors him, and 5-4 favors him. So at the moment, this favors him. I want to see the lineup. I fucking definitely want Bowers in it, guys. I want Monasterio in it. I want to see Frelick at the end. I don't want to see Frelick and Terang both at the top. Like you said, I just don't want. I want this lineup spread out to where I can at least get strikeouts every inning, and if not 2 in some of them, guys. Because when you're betting a freaking high number, guys, yeah, you got to get 2 sometimes. So, anything else?
Nope, not for that one.
Oh, you thought I had a bet. Because I did. We're just going to break them down, guys. There's no need for me to do a breakdown on Shane fucking Baz. Shane Baz, if you watch this show from the very, very beginning, was probably the first rookie I ever talked about 3 years back. This dude is that dude. They wouldn't put any stud, they wouldn't put those studs, guys, at a 4.5 at bettable price. He is facing the Rangers today, and he's 4.5 plus 105 on Bovada. He's like minus 105 on the legal books. Either which way, I'm on the over 4.5. He is a true 4-pitch pitcher. He has 96.5 on his average right now. He's touching 99. He's back, guys. He did struggle his first few rehab games. His last, I believe, 7 rehab games, 5 in AAA. He has a 1.5 or a 1.5 ERA. Strikeout to freaking walk ratio is back where it's normally at, guys, which is like 14-9. This dude is a true strikeout pitcher. When he came in, he was the Rays' #1 prospect. Everyone thinks Taj Bradley. Shane Baz, motherfuckers, okay? Their rotation is about to get that much better. He is coming back from Tommy John. I don't expect them to be on super limits. Maybe 75, 90 pitches at most, but they have been letting him go 5-6 innings in the minors, guys, so I expect right around there. And if you're asking me for a strikeout per inning versus a guy who will throw 3 pitches to one side and 4 to the other, yeah, sign me up. Shane Baz should never be a 4.5. Nah. This is straight off of principles, guys. They about to fuck around and find out, guys, because these Texas Rangers aren't hitting. The only guy that they actually got to was Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease still had 5 strikeouts fucking through 3 innings while getting got to or something. It was something stupid. I know he didn't hit his number, but he was definitely striking them out. Now, they are projected a bunch of lefties, guys, and that's fine. This man throws 4 pitches, like I said. He's not just going to sit there and freaking go fastball, changeup only. He's going to go fastball, slider, changeup with a curveball, and then throw the changeup away to the right-handed side, guys. He is a legit stud, and studs don't belong at 4.5. He will not be a 4.5 next week if he hits his K-prop today, and I believe he hits his K-prop today.
Love it.
Appreciate you guys as always. Appreciate you even more, bro, for coming on and taking your time out to spend and talk a little baseball with the people. Let these people know what you got going on, where they can find you, as they should want to be finding you and how hot you've been.
Been fun. At SpinDoc Sports. I've been tweeting out how to get into our Discord. We have week passes. We have monthly. Everything usually averages out to about less than $2 a day. We'd love to get you in. As I said earlier in the show, pregame VIP plays. We have won 16 in a row. The only loss in that time has been a live shot on Christopher Sanchez, which I didn't listen to the man next to me about not taking overs on sinker baller pitchers, but I got a little greedy. So, but no.
When are you going to learn? You bet.
I know.
You bet Kirby too, bro. Kirby should have been the last. I think after I bet Sonny Gray, I said, I'm done.
No more sinker ballers.
No more sinker ballers. Stop getting cute. And then I go watch Hicks get 5 versus Atlanta, and I kicking myself.
Yeah.
And I broke down the lineup too. And I was like, oh, I should bet it. No, you should. Why do I even break it down?
But yeah. At SpinDoc Sports, would love to talk with you.
Yes, sir, guys. As always, smash that like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. And stay blessed, guys, because it's we need to make the monies, because the monies pay for the